Hi, how are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. My name's Tosca.
My name's Anna, it's nice to meet you.
Hi, Anna. How you doing?
Good.
Good. So, I'm a social worker here at Sunrise Counseling Center, and I appreciate you coming in today. I know it was kind of like a long drive, so thanks for coming in.
Oh, no,
What brings you in today?
normally I miss my appointments.
Okay.
So I'm glad I made it.
Okay. So, seeing how this is our first initial session, I just kind of wanted to go over the basics with you, get a little bit of background knowledge about you and your situation and what brought you in today. So yeah, I guess we can just go from there. What brings you in today?
I'm just really frustrated with how my husband treats our children. I feel that even though they're children, they deserve more respect than what he has given them. He's not abusive towards them. He's just he's more verbally abusive, it seems, and it's not. Any verbal abuse is bad, but it's not like to the point where he's just saying you're a piece of shit. But to me, that's how it feels, and it's put a hamper on our relationship to where I just want to leave him and be like, forget you. I'm tired. I'm tired of you making my kids feel like crap. Which of course in return makes me feel like crap because I feel like I'm not being a good mother.
Okay. Real quick, I just want to let you know that anything that we discuss is confidential. However, if I do feel like you are a danger to yourself or others, I am required to report that as I am a mandated reporter. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. So why don't you give me a little bit of background knowledge? This is your husband, legally married?
Yes. We've been married for almost 12 years next month.
That's a good chunk of change.
It's a lot of time. And we have 4 kids together. Our 3 oldest are 11, 10, and 7, and our youngest is almost 18 months.
You got a full house, don't you?
Yeah, it's they each have their own special quality.
Yeah, don't they? It's what makes it great, though, doesn't it?
Yes. My youngest boy always says, "Who do you love most?" I was like, well, you all have one special thing that I love that's different from each other.
Right.
But I love you all the
Good.
most.
Good.
And he says, who do you really love most?
Who do you really love most?
Yeah.
So you are having issues with your husband, is that correct?
I have, it's issues because of his wording towards our children. It's not like
He speaks badly of your children?
Of them, to them, and it's upsetting. It's, we have, some pretty, energetic children. They tried to tell me my oldest had ADD when he was 3 years old, and I looked at them and I said, he is 3 years old. You cannot tell me you know what he has already. And then by the time he turned 6, he calmed down ridiculously.
Mm-hmm.
And then now they're trying to tell me that my 10-year-old has ADD, and he's the one that we do have the most problems with. But I also told the school psychologist or psychiatrist, I don't know what her title may be, but I told her that one, we don't do medicine in our house. That it takes, it would have to be severe for me to even think about it. And 2, that when he starts acting out at home, like he'll fidget. We'll talk to him, he'll be like this the whole time, or just like picking things. He is required to keep his hands to his side. And that if he needs to fidget, he can gently rub his jeans. And he has to look at us and he has to repeat what we say, so I know that he's understanding what we're saying. And then,
does this cause conflict at home between you and your husband?
With Kalani, more so than the others, but the other ones do it too. But with Kalani,
we're recording an interview. Can you give us 5 minutes? Okay.
And he, I apologize, what was the question?
You were talking about your son and the ADD and how he has to keep his hands to himself.
Well, I don't think he has ADD. I think he's just a child, okay. And that he just has energy, and he doesn't know how to correctly direct that energy. But he's the one, all 3 of our boys have a milk allergy, and he's the one who, reacts the worst to it. And, with us being on free and reduced lunch, he is exposed to milk at school for breakfast and lunch every day, and they give it to him, even though I've requested many times to not give it to him. And his teachers at school complain, have called me about his behavior problems. And I told him, I said, well, what is he eating for breakfast and lunch? And they're like, well, I don't know. I said, I guarantee you he's eating milk. And if he's eating milk, his body's reacting, which is then, cause and effect.
Is this causing issues between you and your marriage?
He is not the way that my husband talks to the children is. So he'll, which it mainly is for Kalani, because with the milk allergy, he ends up pooping himself because it's just so bad.
How does that affect your husband?
Well, like, my husband's a dick about it, and he'll call him Poop Stain McCain, or, Poo Poo Boy in front of the other kids, which I told him that's letting the other kids say that it's okay to call him that, which it's not. And then,
how does that make you feel when he says that to your son?
Upsetting, it's to the point where we're fighting, and, I get so pissed about it that I'm now here. And because I don't like it. I don't think that kids should be called names, no matter how bad they are. They shouldn't be called names.
So if we could accomplish something, if you could have a main goal and something you would like to accomplish by coming here, what would you ultimately like to see happen?
Well, I don't want my husband's and my relationship to end. I would like it to get better with him, having the knowledge to better.
Can you give us 5 minutes, please? We're recording an interview. Okay, thanks.
Better knowledge on how to handle the children without being such a jerk.
Okay. So you feel like the children, with the milk allergy and the issues you guys have surrounding the children, you feel like it's causing issues in your marriage?
I do. I feel that we are more upset with each other, that every time he brings up the kids and how they act, that it's just upsetting, and I start yelling and telling him, this and that, and then, then he doesn't want to talk, and then we shut down, and it's just...
Is there any mental health or substance abuse issues at home?
No substance abuse, but I know that, I would say we both suffer from PTSD. But
are you guys receiving treatment or therapy for that?
I received treatment, but Brian does not. He was not in the military, but he worked alongside the military, and so he had seen more than most of the military had seen, because he was always.
So he's not open to therapy. I guess what I'm trying to say is, would he be open to coming in? And
if we made it his idea, he'd be open, because he came up with the idea. But if I suggested it, I'd be suggesting there's something wrong with him when there's not.
Okay. How are your children reacting to this?
Well, like with my husband's intensity, he loves a clean house, so he cleans the house. My oldest son said, I feel that Dad loves a clean house more than he loves me. And I let him know that that's the impact that he's making on his children's life, that he's not showing them enough love and emotion, or the only emotion that he is sharing with them is negative emotion.
That must be frustrating for you.
It is frustrating, because I love my kids and I don't want them to have problems.
Have you guys always lived in the same home throughout your marriage?
For the first 10 years of our marriage, Brian worked overseas as a contractor, and he came home 3 to 4 times a year for 3 weeks at a time, and it was nice because it was like always in the honeymoon stage. But then he came home last summer due to being laid off, and he had it was like throwing a wrench in the gears. He came in and took over without a handoff. There was just no transitioning, and he was frustrated because he'd been laid off and we weren't making any money, and We just had a baby. It was just really a hard time and frustrating.
So you feel like while he was away, your marriage was easier, but now that he's been home, it's a little bit harder for everybody to adjust?
It was a hard transition, especially for the boys, because I was not as consistent as he is. And, I'd ask the boys to do stuff, and if they didn't do it, I just want to do stuff for them. As where he wants it done, and he's complains about how they don't do it, and they don't be like, this is how you do it. And I don't know, he isn't going about it the right way, and the kids are feeling the effect of it.
If you could have him go about it the right way, what would you like him to do? If you could have him do something different, what would that be?
I told him to show the kids how you want it done. I told him that if Kalani's giving you that much of hard time, then we need to lock everything up, and he needs to be in the same room with you so you can constantly keep your eye on him so he understands what it's like to not be trusted. And but instead, Brian feels that yelling at the kids and calling them names is what's gonna help them, and it's not.
Yeah. Be really tough, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's super tough. Do you feel like the kids are suffering because of it? Are they doing well in school? Are their grades good? Are their behaviors well?
Again, I think Kalani's schooling has to do with his milk allergy, and but I'm sure it has an effect in it. But as far as all the other kids are doing good, we never hear anything negative about the other two boys, and Momi does great at her daycare, and so.
Do you think that your husband would be open to counseling for our next session, if you would be open to scheduling a next session?
I would have to try to make it his idea, and and whatnot, but I think I can make it happen.
Do you guys, do you specifically have a support system? Do you have any family in town?
I don't have family in town. I have friends, but I have some really good friends, and we talk about it, and they know who my husband is, so it's not like they're only getting the one side, and so it helps out a lot too.
Do you feel like your husband is volatile, or do you feel that?
No, I just feel that he just wants to be a dick sometimes. Like, he's in a bad mood, so he has to make everybody else in a bad mood.
What is it that triggers your guys' arguments? What is something that you notice that occurs frequently?
When we disagree.
When you disagree?
Yeah, because we both want to be right.
Okay. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your marriage? Are you guys on the same schedule? Does he usually come home irritated?
I don't know. I'm gone during the weekdays, and he's gone during the weeknights. So we don't see each other for like 4 days, and then we see each other on the weekends. And so.
Do you feel that you're afraid of your marriage falling apart? You're willing to work on your marriage?
I'm willing to work on my marriage, but I don't think that would fall apart. It's just more that I would leave. It would just be a clean break. It wouldn't be a crumble.
Do you feel like you're putting more effort into it than he is?
Constantly.
Constantly?
As far as when it, not so much our marriage, but the other things that involve being married.
What other things?
The care of the children, just being there more for the children than he.
How is he not there for the children?
He'll go in his room and eat and watch TV instead of watching TV with the kids. And I tell him that he needs to be there interacting with the kids because he's just teaching them bad habits.
Mm-hmm. Wow. If you could, you'd be interested in your husband coming in for counseling?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think your husband would be interested in coming in to the next counseling session with you?
If I could convince him to come in, I could get him to come in, but I don't think he would be interested.
Okay. So are you okay with setting up another appointment with me?
Yeah, I'm totally fine with that.
Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and set for next Tuesday. And I do have some resources available to give you if need be. I know this great lady that does family counseling. I could refer her to you if you're interested. So today we just discussed, the concerns between you and your husband and the conflict with him moving back home and parenting the children. Does that sound about right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Well, thank you for coming in, Anna,
Well, thank you.
and I will talk to you later. See you soon.
Bye.
Okay, thanks.